Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this episode, a racing yellow Porsche 991.1 Gt3 receives various detailing and protection packages. Existing paint protection film on the vehicle was removed, certain areas had been damaged from heavy track use and one or two incidents which we'll get onto later. Fresh PPF was installed in form of a track pack or extended front end coverage. The exposed paintwork received a two-stage paint correction process, eliminating surface swirls, hazing, sander marks, scratches and various other defects. The wheels are sent away for refurbishment, and then finally, Modesta coatings are used throughout. That and a whole lot more in this episode of White Details. So as you can probably see, the vehicle is used for its intended purpose, which is great. The previous PPF installation was very much doing its job. Some questionable coverage and alignment and trimming going on, to be honest. But that's all about to come off and to be replaced with a fresh installation anyway. But the owner, they are a heavy, keen track user. They use the vehicle on track. That's what it's designed for. In a recent session at Cadwell Park, it's a long story, but the headlights fell out. First, the near side, secondly, the off side. Heavy braking into a left-hand turn and the near side headlight decides to pop out. The old PPF taking the grunt of the damage. Paintwork underneath unmarked. That is the beauty of PPF. Another area the owner wasn't fully satisfied with in terms of the PPF, the old existing PPF. And by the way, we don't know what the film was, who installed it. It was already on the car when the client bought it, although we can say that the film didn't go down when the car was brand new. It was a used vehicle already because there are paint chips underneath the film to begin with. Driver's side skirt on the rear quarters section. Every time the owner climbed in the car, there's a black speck, what they thought was a paint chip, but actually in the removal process it was a tar deposit, so it's clear that very little prep was actually done before the old PPF was put down. That is a whole lot of prep work complete on the Porsche. The bonnet badge will be coming out a little later on before we start installing the film, the paint protection film. I've been on the plotter, I've been on the laptop. A few areas, as you've seen, are ready to roll. All of the edges have been cleansed. There's lots of excess residue and glue from the previous film installation. Perhaps a product like Edge Prep has been used on those areas, but that's all removed now, as well as the arch edges. As you can see by the glove, racing yellow touch-up has been sourced, and a few areas have been tackled. Areas that can't be wrapped. Here, for example, there are very slight chips on the very leading edge, which have just been touched over. More obvious chips, one on the bonnet, can't see it now. Here will be flatted and polished, and a few other areas flatted and polished before the film goes down. With that being a fresh touch-up, it's actually proud of the surface, which needs leveling to be smooth. The film goes on top. We don't exactly know when the film went down. It's between 2018 and 2021, so it's a few years old, and the car has had some use. It's had some heavy track use. The film has done its job. Yes, there were areas that could have been installed better, some better alignment in places, but rather than just doing the damaged areas, the wing, the side skirt, the owner wanted it to be stripped as one, to then be reinstalled as one. So the whole car, as well as polishing the back end when we get to that, is all fresh. The wheels will be returning from PB Powder Coatings, my wheel specialist guys, in a Porsche Silver as per the customer's requests. So it's going to be bonnet, bumper, wings, extending the patterns on the bumper and the wing to level into the side repeater, and extending the patterns on the headlight to be able to wrap it fully behind the rubber. The headlights are over there. Side skirt wraps into the door up to the partial rear quarter, wraps around the back. Wind mirrors, A-pillars, partial roof this time. There wasn't one on the car as it arrived. There's a section here which I've been told to leave, it's fine, and the spoiler to leave, it's fine. But actually I've just spotted I spotted earlier on, there is a slight penetration there, piece of damage. Something's walloped that, bounced over the top of the car and bounced off the spoiler. I've left that with the owner, whether they would like me to remove, touch up, sand, polish and replace. But otherwise all is well. It certainly feels very fresh, the car now after its lengthy wet work, decontamination, and we'll see what the next couple of days has in store. If you're looking for it, you can find it. It's not invisible, it's not perfect, but it is a lot better. That area with the stone chip, much improved there. But not only that, it's actually better coverage as well. Before, the film sat on the top shelf, it didn't wrap over, whereas now it wraps around the back on the underside all the way across, and on the front edge also. We're coming on to now paint correction. By the way, removing PPF sucks. So, rear quarters, which have been doubled up with the additional factory section there as a bit of a tearaway section, so it's got impact, double impact protection. Side skirts, mirrors, a Porsche roof, wrapped wings, wrapped bonnet, headlights, fog lights, full bumper as a one piece meaning it's all connected, but there are a couple of joins, one there, one here. Wing, side skirt, and also the spoiler, of course, not forgetting. Looks super nice. Paint correction side of things then, two-stage correction. Starting off on the light clusters because it's easy to see. Racing yellow is quite forgiving to pick up the marks on camera. Hazy, deeper scratches thrown into the mix, holograms, and also some healthy clusters of sander marks. DA sander marks on this offside rear corner of the bumper. And up here as well. Loads of ticks left behind. Particularly heavy around this top corner of the door. All that's happened here is people use that corner of the paint to close the door behind them. Rear wing, door, you can see how much more contact has been made. It's not perfect over there, room for improvement, but a lot of contact above the handle. And then with the polishing all said and complete, areas like this will be tackled by hand, or the grubby, hard to reach areas which have been neglected somewhat under the spobes, under the spoiler. Deposits, carbon deposits from the exhaust, possibly, and just general dirt buildup. Test some polished pad combinations. Buzz around the door, tops of the rear quarters, the roof, spoiler, engine cover and rear bumper. Refine the paint, use Mid-Ester primer, top it with Mid-Ester BCO4, Hopefully by which point the wheels are back from refurbishments. And then it's once again prepped, fully protected, ready for the track. That is the roof, this near side A-pillar, rear quarter cut. Mixture of 5-inch over the top, 3-inch around the perimeter, getting into this channel, and then the 1-inch for the eyebrow. And this little section here. Good amount of swirls and defects on the door, passenger side. If we look here, there's a series of but actually, if we use the handheld torch, you can see it's quite long and vertical. So, not so much. That's a bit of vertical there. Bit of vertical there. The worst one there. That to me is something opening onto the door, I suppose. Another door opening, or this door touching a workbench, or I don't know, somewhere where it's parked up. Clearly happened on numerous occasions. It's a repetitive thing. Combination wise, we are Lake Country Blue Heavy Cut HDO microfiber cutting pad and the Old Faithful Diamond Cut 3000 Cartec. There's a lot of gloss in racing yellow or any solid colour and non-metallic. When it's cut, thinking about the light lenses, there's a lot of the dirt build up in the channels and around the back there, look. It's not only going to be easier to correct the light lens down into the very point here with the light out, it's also going to allow the yellow to be corrected, and then some finger polishing behind the scenes to get the grubbiness away. And actually, another little surprise, there was a little space left in one of the nesting boards when doing the PPF. So this section here, it's hard to see, they are two rear light lenses, so they're going to be polished and finally PPF'd. Well, we're nearing the end now. Finally, the residue you've seen on the surface is that of Modesta's primer. So, PPF went down to the extended front end track pack areas. Cutting stage was performed, which is then refined with a milder combination to remove any micromarring or hazing left behind from the aggressive nature of the mechanical cutting. And then Modesta primer goes down after a neat alcohol wipe down, which sets a base, a screed, a bottom layer, bottom for Modesta's BC04, which will go down tomorrow. Time is 5:45. The Big Boy Blow R Pro, used to eliminate fragments of dust and foam residue. Now this can be removed, which is usually dreamy. There's some funny white balance on this colour. The camera really doesn't pick up the yellowness or the clarity of what we're working with in person. This is really banana yellow, but what I'm looking at in the little screen, it's almost got a bluey green tinge to it. But there we go. So residue removal for the next 20 minutes. The rear lenses have been reinstalled. You've seen the PPF go down over the top for them. That's now the PPF complete. And the wheels I'm hoping should be back, or I can pick them up at least from my guys tomorrow, which would be good. Tomorrow being Friday. Really does look stunning, shaping up nicely. Just one more thing to do on the Porsche, and that is going to entail the owner's help when they collect the car. The centre lock wheels require, it's a two-man operation, one to stamp on the brake and one to 600 Newton meters. But the car needs to be in air. I'll lower the car for now for the after footage, so that will have to happen again in a couple of days' time. Old PPF stripped, removed, new PPF, track pack or an extended front end installation installed. A two-stage paint correction process to the exposed paintwork areas, topped with Modesta BC04, BC06 for the rims and calipers. Oh, So that's all for now. Thank you for your time, thank you for your support. If you've made it through this far, enjoy the after footage. Be sure to find WhiteDetails over on Instagram for daily behind the scenes and updates. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and we'll see you next time.